2, 1, and we are live on YouTube. What's good with your YouTube? Thank you for showing up with our Trichome Chaser TV with our Grow Life series, season 2, episode 10.
Yeet.
Yep.
So who we got in the chat so far? I see a couple people up in the chat. Look like we got 10 watching. I see a couple people in the chat. See, hi, Wally. What's good with you? Bob Dog. That's a new one. Giant Skies. I see he's up in here. Doug High. Yeah, so thanks for coming through tonight. You know, tonight's topic is going to be IPMs. Before we get into that, though, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my fellow teammates that's on the panel up here. Go ahead, fellas.
It's good, brother. What's going down with it?
Shit, man, just chilling, doing that growth thing, brother. Just doing that growth thing, Monster.
Yes, sir. What's going down with you, Dose? How you feeling tonight, bro?
Me, I'm doing good. I'm trimming, so my nose is like stuffed up, so I'm about to take a break here in a second. But yeah, everything's going good. I'm finishing up trimming this up. I got my next batch. Just finished the first week of flower, so things are looking good. Moving right along.
That's what's up, dog. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm just chilling tonight too, man. Just actually just taking a break from the family and sitting in the garden, just kind of enjoying the plants and all the hard work. Just taking it easy though. It's a slow weekend. It's cold, man. We got snow on the ground again. Some bullshit, bro.
You ain't lying, bro. This is some hard work, but yeah, that's snow, bro. That's snow something else, ain't it? That's snow something else.
Bro, we was at like 64 the other day, and now we're at like fucking 20. It's free, like everything's frozen with ice and shit, bro.
We got like an inch of snow right now. It's still coming down. It just started like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. But yeah, I was out riding my bike just a few weeks ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, go try to do that today.
Right?
That's what's up. Yeah, man. Glad everybody's doing good. Thank you, chat, for coming in and chilling with us another Saturday evening. Yep. Big Homie Buffalo said we're doing a pest management topic tonight. We've kind of felt like it was good timing to bring up this discussion. You know what I'm saying? Kind of talk about some pest related management stuff like that tonight, and hopefully we can put you guys up on a little bit of game and maybe inspire some of the people who don't have an IPM program to definitely implement one.
Oh yeah. Hey,
we got some horror stories for y'all tonight.
No, I ain't telling my horror story. It might bring them back.
We go sit around the campfire with the flashlight, tell horror stories.
Hey, so I'm looking in the chat right now. Speaking of horror stories, I'm looking in the chat right now. I guess Grow Boss, from what High Wally's saying, he asked, was anybody in the chat on his live stream when he got banned? I didn't know he was talking about him. Because I know one MD Super who chills with us in our Trichome Chaser subscriber chat room. Me and him was in there one day when they had GML on there, and Super was going off, and they kicked him out real quick. But he says no, the Grow Boss got his live shut down right then, got banned during a live stream, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's not. We're going to take a second real quick and thank YouTube for the platform that they've given us all this time, and then we're gonna kindly ask them not to ban us tonight.
Yes,
we're just spreading love and knowledge. That's all we're about.
That's right. So yeah, as Monster was saying, I agree with him. I agree with that guy. But yeah, tonight's topic is IPMs. Like Monster said, we're coming up on that season to where things start to get a little hairy, and when I mean hairy, I mean like PM. I mean all kind of pest issues. Your humidity is going to start going up and different things like that. So we figure this would be the perfect time to talk about it a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will try to stay up on them as much as possible. So, Monster, I've been meaning to ask you though, man. You got your Floraflex. You showed us a little bit of it last time. Not to mention that you got shown tonight, but how's that coming along for you now, though?
Oh, bro, it's dope. Like I'm implementing more and more Floraflex every day. Like I'm transplanting all of my plants into the Floraflex Pop Pro system. It's really sorry about that. It's really easy. Um, you got your 6-inch Pop Pro. That's your pot basically that your medium sits in, and you can use basically whatever medium you want to. Cocoa, rock wool, but it's more suited for hydroponic, application. Um, so I would recommend, either cocoa or rock wool. Now, rock wool, if I was going to use rock wool in those, I would probably use the little rock wool cubes, those little mini cubes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I got a bag of those downstairs and I was experimenting the other day. About how to transplant into them. And I think they will work perfect if you would use the little mini rock wool cubes. So, either rock wool or cocoa is basically what they're made for. And then, you got your drip manifolds. Those are the bubblers where all the drip lines connect into, and then that's hard lined into PVC. Now, basically, this is going to eliminate for one, having to hand water all these plants every day. And then two, not only that, I think there's a real benefit of having the plants getting timed waterings at the same time every day. I've seen more positive results out of doing that than I have in all the years that I was hand watering. And, my hand watering was sporadic. It wasn't at the same exact time every watering, every feeding.
Oh yeah, we've all been there.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the plants kind of throws them off a little bit because their whole life they're on this schedule, this timing, and are watering their feed when they eat. You know what I'm saying? I think it needs to be consistent to really see those types of benefits. And like I said, man, it's been working out good, bro. Yeah, I don't see me switching back anytime soon. I was thinking about doing a bed full of soil, like some biomass soil mix, just to experiment with the quality of strains, like, being able to compare how the quality changes when you have like a real soil mix and then you're on like a real hydroponic system. I think it'll be cool. But other than that, I'm floor flexing it out all the way.
I'm glad. That's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking that I was on IG and I was watching and I was seeing this guy's video where he was showing his garden and he had like those they're long. I want to say maybe 3 feet long, maybe to 1.5 feet to maybe 1.5 feet, maybe wide, and he had plants in those. They're cloth made, just like your smart pots would be. And he had 3 of those. He had 3 plants in it, and that's what he was growing. He had it sitting in a tent, and that's what he was growing. So I was like, shit, I might try that one day. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's coming the hot season, and if I haven't got my water temp control under control, just getting maybe 6 or 8 of those and putting them in the 4x8 tent, and then putting 3 plants per each one, and then growing them out, trim them up good. So all I got to do is just reach in with a hose and water them down, scrog them, and grow them out. I think that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that'd be dope, bro.
I think I'm gonna do that. And then if I could set it up like you got with the watering system to automate, man, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I think like honestly, bro. Like I swear to God, I wish I would have fucking started doing drip irrigations and just automated feeding from the very jump, like from my early days of growing. Like hand watering is cool, but dog, like you're missing out on so much. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what type of system you're in, bro. Like even if you're in no-till organic or whatever the fuck, set up some automated watering. You know what I mean? And I promise you, like you'll see some benefits. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
That's what's good.
Yield for sure. Quality. You know what I'm saying? just the happiness of the plants, the less you see deficiencies, because you know the plants are they're given, you know, timed feedings more frequently. It's just a beautiful thing, man. Like automated watering is the shit.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Saves your back. It saves your back, bro. Like, dog.
I feel you on that. Feel you on
Our
that.
most precious thing we got. That's it. If our back go out, it's it. That's it.
So I got the first question of the night. We got Hi Wally wanted to know, and his question is IPMs. When you do IPMs, do you just do it around this type of the season, or do you do it? Do you always IPM on, or does it depend more on the time of year? No. I'll start with Purple and let Purple. You know, each one of us give our answer. Now, go ahead, Purple. Oh, Purple.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Fucking yes, IPM all the time. If you don't IPM, then you will definitely get some pests, and then you will definitely have to use some form of integrated pest management. But yeah, best thing to do is just stay on top of it, because while the season, like a seasonal change, does affect, you know, having potential pests come in your room, or, you know, being more susceptible to pathogens potentially, depending on your environmental setup. Yeah, it's better to just always stay on top of it. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Perp. You know what I'm saying? And I think like a little bit more to add to that. It like to me, it's really all about life cycles. That's what I'm really thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like when you spray, you know, you're probably not gonna kill every single last little single bug and their eggs. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think about life cycles. Like what's my target pest? What am I targeting? And then, you know what I'm saying? You look up their life cycle. How do they lay eggs? How long do the eggs are incubation? How long is the larva period? How long until maturity? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of gives you a timeline of, you know, when you're spraying, you're kind of killing majority, you're killing adults and probably like nymphs and larva stage. You're probably not going to kill every single egg. So then the eggs will hatch. Right. You know what I'm saying? The eggs will hatch, and then you have another certain amount of period of time before they reach maturity, and then they start laying their eggs.
Right. You know that's a great point, especially if you are experiencing some sort of a pest infestation. That yeah, definitely, you know, definitely do some research into the life cycles and how long they live. And like Monster was saying, it's a great point. Definitely.
I agree. That's what I was going to say, because we were talking about this earlier before the show started about certain pests go dormant and they may stay in until the condition is right. And then, bam, you got them. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, mold, PM, it could lay dormant and then get the right condition. And next thing you know, bam, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would say yes. I would say all year round, I would do. I know I do. I do it all year round. I don't give a time. I don't give a care what time of the year it is. I always do pest management control, just to pretty much stay on top of it. So I agree with all you guys on that.
For sure.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to give a short definition first of what IPM is. If nobody in the chat knows what IPM is, what IPM stands for, what the initials what the hell did High Wally say that super, never mind. But
you were saying the abbreviation.
Yeah, the abbreviation of IPM. So what IPM stands for is integrated pest management. That's what it stands for. So basically the definition is it's a control, is a broad-based approach that integrates practices for economic control of pests, pest and mold, you know, or anything that could cause you harm in your garden. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be pests. It could be well, it doesn't have to necessarily be an insect. It could be a pest. Could be, in my opinion, a pest could be mold. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's considered more a pathogen, but it's still a pest to your garden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
that's kind of what I was gonna say, but I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. Like technically, when we talk about pathogens, we more so are talking about like bacteria and archaea and stuff like that. But I guess fungi would maybe fall along those lines as well. But
True.
yeah, either way, it's fucked.
The broad term is pest. So yes, for sure, it could be considered a pest.
Some people say that there are 7 critical steps in when you're practicing the IP in having an ongoing cycle of IPM, and I'm going to read them off to you guys. You guys tell me if you agree. Number 1 is inspection. The cornerstone of an infected IPM program is a schedule of regular inspections. Number 2 would be preventative action. Number 3 would be identification. Number 4 would be analysis. Number 5 would be treatment selection. Number 6 would be monitoring. And number 7 would be documentation. Would you guys agree in that order? Would you agree that it would have to be first of all, do you agree with those 7 crucial steps? And my second question would be, what order would you put those in?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to all what you're saying. I'm like the kid in the class who's half stoned, and I'm like, oh shit, could you repeat that, prof?
Let me see if I can post it up. Let me see if I can screen share it real quick.
Yeah, what's good out there in virtual land?
See my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so let's start with step 1. It says inspection. The cornerstone of an effective IPM program is a schedule of regular inspections. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
All right. Number 2, it says preventative action. So you're being what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive instead of reactive, kind of.
Word.
All right.
Definitely agree with that one.
Number 3 would be identification, which I agree with, because you definitely want to, like Monster say, you want to know what your target is, what it is, what pest is it that you're targeting that you need to treat. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What about analysis? Analyzing your situation and determining what you're going to do to deal with it.
Yep, that's like research, doing your research on it.
There you go. And then 5 would be treatment selection. So let's stop with that one. Let's talk about treatment selection for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I went through them little devils about a year ago. And trust me, they little devils. I don't call them by name in case they might come back. You know, I'm an old country boy from the South. What my parents is, and I believe in that when you speak his name, yeah, boy. So right. I just call them little devils.
It's like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
All right. Candyman, call him Candyman. Say it too many times. Next thing you know, he's up in your bathroom mirror trying to kill you. But okay, so treatment selection. When I had to deal with him, my man Monster was the first one to hit me up to that. So I thought it was basically my lights were too strong, and it was just tearing up the tops of my plant. And what he brought out attention to me was I had no pistols. All my white pistols were gone. I mean, the plant was, they were eating my white pistols. I didn't know. I'm thinking that my lights are curling them and turning them, and my pistols were gone. So first thing I did was I ran out and got some neem oil, and I got this and I got that, not knowing until he talked about, well, not really that was fucked, but the treatment selection was that you rotate. Just don't use one. If you find something, just don't use one. I would say bare minimum is 2 different types of treatments that I would use. And for that reason, what was it you told me why I should do that, Monster?
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat.
No, what was that? What was the reason why you told me why I should rotate, should have more than one type of treatment?
Resistance, potentially.
There we go.
Yep.
No, I would have to disagree, because the only way to really find out if resistance is going to be an issue is to actually do experimentation and or mathematical modeling. I don't know. I'm always on that kick because I was years ago, I was watching this thing on evolutionary medicine where it was talking about about rotating different types of medicine to treat. I think it was maybe the HIV virus or something along those lines. But it was talking about how sometimes resistance can build despite what you think maybe your regiment. What am I trying to say here? I guess resistance can be an issue even if you think that you're rotating products or medicines, right? Like it can be just as big of an issue or bigger than if you were to, maybe just stick with one product or maybe even just use like a cocktail approach or something like that. But just an FYI, I don't know. I just like to throw that out there. It's probably best to have at least a couple products in your arsenal for sure either way, but just throwing that out there.
I agree with what you say. No, I agree with what you say about the resistance. It can build up regardless whether you're using one or whether you're using three. You know what I'm saying? But my belief in that would be, is it cutting down my percentages of the pest becoming resistant if I switch it up? Yes or no? But like you said, we'd have to basically do a scientific study to see if this is true. That is, even though I think Monster was telling me there were some pests that people were using a certain pesticide for, and the pest actually did build up an immune to it and became like super pests after that, So
right.
Yeah, I agree with you saying. You'd probably have to do a little bit more research to find out if that's possible, how deep that goes. All right. So let's go to the next step, would be monitoring. And when they say monitoring, I'm guessing that it means that you would, just keep watch after you start treating. You want to actually pay attention to what you treated to see if you start seeing a diminishing of whatever the pest was that you had.
Yeah, I would think that's probably a good approach.
And the last one would be documentation. Now, do you guys agree with the documentation?
Yeah, for sure. Keep your keep documentation of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, you forget shit all the time, so it's better to write it down or
like
put it in some type of system.
What the temperature and humidity and time of year, I think, is important to track. Like when you got those pests, at least just try to remember,
And then nowadays, I think that it's a good thing just to do. Personal documentation is always great, whatever. But I think maybe even the larger benefit is, and I'm not the best practitioner of this, but I think the larger benefit of documentation is like, YouTube, Instagram, having that out there, despite what shit talk you may get, can actually be helpful in terms of like having that information in case other people are experiencing similar issues or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But the main thing I got out of all of that, out of those 7 steps, is consistency. You got to stay consistent with it. Definitely have to stay consistent with it. I wasn't consistent with mine. I was one of those guys that thought, no, it never happened to me. It ain't happened yet. Why would it happen now? Yeah. Good job. Good job there, Buffalo.
It happens, bro. It happens to the best of us. I mean, me recently, dude, like I know better. I know better probably more than fucking a lot of people. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just, I don't know, you get fucked up and you just don't stay on top of your shit. And the next thing you know, you're battling fucking powdery mildew or, broad or russet mites.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that.
But yeah, best thing to do, spray once a week,
Definitely don't want to do that. So those were the 7 steps that I wanted to talk about initially. And I'm trying to look in the chat to see if we see any other questions so far, but if not, we'll just keep going. So let's discuss where do we want to start? Do we want to start with pests or do we want to start with the management part?
Let's start with the pests and kind of talk about, ways that you get pests and stuff. I think people we're not really educated a lot about, how you can get these pests and stuff like that. And just different things that are carriers and shit like that out of the normal things that, like your pant legs or your pets or whatever.
Very good point. Since it's been warm where I'm at, it's been warm yesterday and today. What's the first thing we all do when it starts getting warm? We get outside. First thing you do when you get outside, if you own a place or even if you're renting, but if you live in a house, it's the first thing you do when you get outside after all that snow is all melted.
You're about to go play in the grass.
Yep, about to go start in the grass, start cleaning up because ugly is winter is ugly to me. It's always by the time that snow melt, every trash you be sitting there be like, where in the hell did that trash come from? I don't never remember that before it started snowing. So that's the first thing everybody do is jump out in the yard, try to make the yard start looking nice, getting ready for planting season when you plant, your roses, tulips, vegetables in the garden, or whatever it may be. The first thing you do is get outside. So first thing I did when I came in the house, I stripped butt naked and jumped in the shower before I even went anywhere near my garden.
Right.
But those are the opportunities that a lot of pests, that's how they get to your garden. You or somebody else brings them to your garden. That's one of the ways more than, that you get those problems. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
What
was the question? By going outside and playing in the grass? Is that what you're saying?
It really wasn't like a question. It was just like, what's the first thing people start doing when it gets warm outside? After winter. After winter.
I don't know.
I eat a lot of mushrooms and go outside.
There you go, Doja. Yeah, I think that's always something to keep in mind for sure. You know what I mean? Never a bad habit to, to change your clothes or to, check your shoes at the grow room door type of shit, because you never know what you could be bringing in. I think that also applies even more like visiting other people's gardens. Oh man, you definitely got to be careful that way.
That's what I was saying. That's how normally it gets right back into you, is from visit other people's gardens.
Yeah. So okay, remember the other day we was talking on the chat about those bugs, those black and red bugs.
Yeah,
the box elders or whatever.
Yeah, box elder bugs and stuff like that. So okay, so those are like basically what we're talking about. Going and visiting other people's gardens and all of that type of stuff. Though, to me, those are like the normal ways shit. But if I wasn't really educated about that, if I was like, I'm not going over people's gardens. I don't have a yard. Da, 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 da. If I'm not doing all of this, that, and the third, how else can I get, bugs in my garden? So right now, I'm just learning about these box elder bugs out here in Michigan, and they're fucking crazy because they're like everywhere, and
like 1,000 of them. Yeah,
bruh, and they're tripping me out right now because not per se about the box elder bug itself. They don't harm the cannabis plant, but what is likely to happen is by so many of them being able to get in and they're coming towards the warmth of the garden. You know what I'm saying? They're liable to bring some shit in on them. You know what I'm saying? Like a microscopic bug or a mite that they can carry on them. Not just these types of, but not just that one bug, but a lot of bugs. Like white flies are really bad carriers of mites.
I didn't know that, man, until I got them, bro. You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So it warms up, all these things start to become more prevalent. All these different types of bugs that can be carriers of these bugs. That, you know what I'm saying? For instance, if they get in your house or they're attracted to the warmth of your garden, you know what I'm saying? They can be, have hitchhikers on them and shit like that. So that's another way to think about things, because I know some people are like, well, fuck, how did I get these mites? I don't run out in fields and I don't do this, that, and the third, but they're not thinking about, these other ways that they can get, different pests and shit like that. So you got to think about it from a full spectrum.
That's right. Put that condom on. You know what I mean? Don't be silly. Put that rubber upon your willy, because it's a go round and you don't want to catch it.
Yeah, straight up, man. Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic, bro. We was just talking about a guy that was on Instagram that fucking got some real bad mites and shit. The The dude, remember Perp, the dude who said he went fishing for the weekend and came back.
Oh
And,
yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, he was definitely slacking on his shit.
Even though we knew he was lying, but it was tragic what happened to those plants, bro. Like I was like,
Oh
poor
my
plants.
God. Right? It was a nightmare. I was like, oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen any gardens that have been totally destroyed by mites. You might want to go Google it and put that image in your head.
Yeah, I just had some pictures up in the I just had pictures up on the screen so that everybody could see the spider mites and what it looks like, the webbing and different things, and
Yeah, it's tragic, man. And then, not just spider mites, like, to me, aren't the real evil ones. You know what I'm saying? They just a squirrel just trying to get a nut to me. You know what I'm saying? To me,
Yeah,
the real
I'll slap some fucking spider mites.
You feel me? They just some squirrels trying to get a nut.
Spider mites, they're easier to, but they're easy to get. I would say a little bit easier to get rid of than them other little devils.
I will slap the fuck out of some spider mites.
Them broads and them russes, a lot of people don't even know they have broad mites. You know what I'm saying? They're always constantly misdiagnosing it for other things. That's why they can be so destructive.
Oh, for sure, dude. When I first got russet mites, I had no fucking idea.
Right.
And I was like, what is this? Calcium deficiency? Blah, 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 bloody blah. Yep. It was a while, dude. It was a while before I fucking somehow I looked into it. I think I Googled it. I was like, Googled the symptoms, and right away it was like broad mites, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, microscopic mites. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, when did this shit become a thing, dude? I had never heard of them. You know what I mean? In all my years of growing, I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's like, this is like some super mite. Shit'll fuck your world.
I got some pictures up right now showing everybody the webbing on colas and things like that, and what they what they could look like, or what they do look like, from time to time. And like I said, this right here is a tomato plant powdery mildew and spider mite damage. That's what this one is that I'm showing. And this one right here is a spider mites infestation, man. That's what you're looking at, But like he said, spider mites ain't nothing compared to the different shit. That's like
they can be though. They can be with you know what I'm saying? If you're like lazy in the garden and shit like that, like they can definitely fuck your whole world up, and make you want to stop growing. Like I ain't going to take that away from the spider mite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying. It's not that they're not nothing, but when we get to talking about mites, like you guys said, I'd rather deal with those than to deal with some of these.
Yeah, because we're experienced. We didn't have mites and shit. Like Perp said, he just got done fucking shit up with the broad mites and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Well, that was about a year ago. My recent battle has been the battery mildew.
Now this picture,
pretty much.
Go ahead.
Pretty much hashtag worthless genetics over here, but yeah.
yeah. You learn a lot in a year.
So yeah,
oh my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. I'm still going through. I'm trying to find a couple pictures. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say again. That's why it's really important to be consistent with your IPM schedule and stuff like that. And it kind of brings me to something else. Another point that I kind of want to bring up is about switching up your products. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get comfortable with spraying just one product. I have like 5 different products that I spray, and pretty much 90% of it is organic. One of the products is Einstein oil. It's a neem, cold extracted neem. And to me, I feel like that's the number one most important product that I use. You know what I'm saying? Because I really truly feel like with regular use of this, and by using this before you have a fucking problem, it's gonna keep shit away from your garden. Like your plants are gonna encounter bugs, but it's all about the plant's ability to fight those bugs off and not allow those bugs to build up a population in your garden. You know what I'm saying? So like neem, to me, I feel like if you start from a clean slate and you use neem, like I know a lot of people, new gardeners who's been growing for a year, maybe 2, maybe 3, that have never had any bugs, and they don't spray. So they feel like they don't need to spray. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely not the mentality to have. You definitely want to be on top of it. And you know what I'm saying? I don't, in that case, I wouldn't go to the more harder products, but neem is definitely just as important as CalMag or fucking A&B or whatever to me. I feel like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like every week they're getting neem. And then another product that I use is the Monterey Garden Insect Spray. It's a spinosad. The active ingredient is spinosad. That one's pretty much regularly available, even at Home Depot and Lowe's and shit like that. I think that's where I got that bottle from, and that's Omri listed. You know what I'm saying? And then hold on, I got the bottles right here. Let me show you guys. Let me turn my camera on, show you guys what it looks like so y'all can see in case y'all want to go buy this stuff, because it's really important for you guys to have a nice arsenal of products. Can y'all see that?
710 Canuck says he's dabbing on Eagle 20.
Damn. So this is the Monterey Garden Spray right here. I don't have the neem in front of me. I couldn't find the bottle of Einstein oil. I think I might be out. I gotta probably go buy some more. But this is the Monterey. This is right here is an all around. I even use this on my edible garden when I eat my you know what I'm saying, my vegetables, because the caterpillars and the moths and shit, this take care of that too. But it's good it's spinosad, so it keeps a lot of stuff away, mites and all type of stuff. And then right here is the essential oil extracts from Builder Soil. Now this right here, you want to be careful with this. I only put a cap full, like literally, I'll take this cap off and put a cap full in a gallon, because it's so strong it'll burn your plants, and that's happened to me before too. And that's organic. Like, don't think you can't burn your plants with organic shit. You can. That right there, if you put too much of this, it'll fuck your plants up. But bugs hate this shit. It's like, it smells so strong. It's nothing but essential oil extracts.
Oh, is that the Build the Soil essential oils?
Yeah, the Build the Soil essential oil extract mix. And then the last product, this one I just started using, I just got hip to it from Black Sheep Farms on Instagram, hit me to this product right here. It's another organic product, but it's a little bit more hardcore. But it's Omri listed, but it's strong. It's pyrethium. It's 1.4% of pyrethium. And this shit fucks shit up right here. If you don't want to use Avid, like if you have something, you know what I'm saying? Like this, you could use this right here and not worry about it coming up in one of those banned lists. So yeah, those 5 products. Oh, and then my SM90 right here. This right here is my it's a wetting agent, but somebody told me that SM90 has its own pesticide properties. Ingredient is oil, sulfonated canola oil, and triethylamine or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So the coriander oil and the sulfonated canola oil have pesticide. And now I'm thinking about it, that's true, because I was using this one product I had samples of. It's some shit called 420 Pest Be Gone or some 420 something like that. And their active ingredients were corn oil and canola oil. You know what I'm saying? So SM90 is like a double good product. You can use it as a wetting agent. That's its main ability. You can use it if you want to do like a root drench, like if you have root thrips, or what is that, root aphids? You know what I'm saying? Root aphids. You can use that. You could use the SM90. Nah, you good, bro. The SM90 is a wetting agent. You use that for your root drench. And then you can also use it for your foliar to mix in whatever you spraying. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show what I was using.
Plant Builder says SM90's got to have it in it.
This motherfucker is retarded. I wish it'd save a whole bunch of money.
Hey,
but nah, it's the shit though.
Perp, I'm looking at what you posted, man. For some reason, man, my Hangouts is messing up. I can't scroll it down. I would have liked to share what you said. Yeah, I can't scroll through. Anytime I can do it on my phone, but I can't do it on my laptop. I have no reason why it's doing that. But yeah, Monster, that everything you said makes sense, man. It's like, that's the reason why we have to stay on top of that. You have to stay on top of it.
Real quick, I want to say what's up to DC Pharma. He just joined us on the panel. What's up, DC? What's going on, brother?
Good, boy.
What's good, DC?
What's going on, everyone?
What's up, DC?
All right, man. How you doing?
All right, man. Just hanging in there. It's been a while. I know it's been a while.
Man.
Yeah, but you doing your thing, though, bro. I've been peeping you out, man. The show and everything. So yeah, you've been a busy dude.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Yeah, man. Like that kind of sprung on me. The opportunity presented itself. The people kept pressing me out the door, so I went on and did it. And I've been super busy because I made that decision in the middle of me building my so-called hybrid greenhouse and all that. So I also been working on that as well.
Right.
So so having those two things going at one time sometimes stress me out, man. But good thing for the cannabis, man. It takes care of all that for everything.
That's good. That's good.
Nah, it's good. It's good to have you back on the panel, DC. But definitely is even greater to see what you're doing out there, bro. I'm definitely proud of you, man, and keep it going, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit lit out there. You getting it jumping, bro. That's what's up.
Nah, definitely. In all honesty, it all started from here. You know what I'm saying? It all originated from the Trichomoe chases. So it's a spinoff of what we got going on here in essence. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing is also representing the Trichomoe chasing family 100% as well. You know what I'm saying? Because all the motivation came from this platform as well. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, bro. Well, we all support you, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Anybody who don't know, DC Farmers got a show on Monday night, mainly organic, right? Mainly organic.
Well, it's to be honest, it started out that way, and I do speak about organic as much as I can, but now it's more so a platform of me being able to speak to everyone related to cannabis in any particular way possible. I definitely love speaking with the growers, whether you're organic or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to get all points of view and aspect of the game. So I definitely like speaking to growers more than anything. But I also like speaking to people that are in the industry of cannabis and other sense, like dealing with other products and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like anything cannabis related. You know what I'm saying? So it did start out to be an organic show, but it just turned it's spinning out to be his own thing as well. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody is down with doing different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them dudes that's like, this is how you have to do it. No, this is only one of the ways that you can do it. You see what I'm saying? So, and I want to also open the doors to all the other venues of growing. So therefore, people like, yourself or people that do DWC or hydro, I don't know much about that. So my best bet is to have someone that does interview them and, hey, this is how you do it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's no one way of growing. Nothing is ever wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like being closed-minded. So I leave the door open for everyone. But I do preach organic 100%, y'all.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been tuning in a couple of weeks. Sometimes I'll be forgetting it's on. Make sure if y'all subscribe to his channel, y'all turn on that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
Man, I like the content. I like the setup. I think you know what I'm saying, going in a good positive direction, and look forward to seeing more, bro, for sure.
Man, I like what you doing though. Your moves, man. You know what I'm saying? You definitely making moves, man. And then your pheno hunt skills and all that. Your whole game done stepped up 100%. You correct me if I'm wrong, right? When I first knew about you, you lived in Cincinnati or Ohio somewhere, right?
Yeah, Columbus. Yep.
And now you in Michigan.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And see, that's what I mean. Like, you actually chase your dreams, man, and you really fucking doing it, man, and you're doing it to the utmost, man. And that's fucking amazing, man. I see your rosin game done stepped up 100%. I can't wait to get a taste of that. And then now you're doing genetics, and I know your pheno hunting game's on point. So I know what you're putting out there is gonna be a blessing. So yeah, I definitely like what I see coming from your end, man.
Bro, I really appreciate it, dog. Real shit, man. It really, bro, it was just I was just doing it for a hobby. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it for a hobby, and then I seen how everybody else was, you know what I mean? Like, it was really becoming like we had like a real movement going, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
I just feel like we just got to keep pushing this shit to the limit, man, and give it legitimacy. If we don't dedicate our everything to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we only have time, part-time in it, it's not going to turn out to be what we want it to be. So, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's been my full time, everything since I was like 23, and I'm 32 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been really trying to turn it into something legitimate since then. You know what I'm saying? And I went from Florida. I started in Florida. That's where I'm from. I moved to Cali first, stayed out there for 3 years, and then went to Ohio, and then went to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been going around, bro, trying to stay where it's, you know, relevant and where things is being pushed forward and shit like that. And that's how I'm gonna continue to be, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not comfortable in my situation right now. I don't feel like you know what I'm saying, I'm doing the best that I could do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's always room to do better and get better.
It's all about growing, setting the bar even higher, even when you get close to it. It's all about growing. So, and even with this Trichomoe chaser family we have going on, right? Like, I don't want to change the subject, but I don't know if a lot of you guys remember Lucky, right? Yeah. Do you guys remember when Lucky first started growing?
Yeah.
And look at him now. Look at him now, y'all. Like, he's really, really stepped this game up as well. So this platform has really helped people, you know what I'm saying, that's really down with growing as well. Because I remember with Lucky when he first started out growing, man, he ain't no lick of shit. And now he's growing some fucking fire, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell him nothing now.
Right.
Right about that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And through my show, you know what I'm saying? And I hope that other people, you know, like, that you feel the same way about this plant or even this environment of cannabis, that you do your own thing. Because for me, starting my own show, my show is kind of different because I'm actually at a radio station and I actually get to meet people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to meet people in the movement, get to meet people growing, get to meet people making stuff, get to meet people making medicine. Like, I mean, I met Lucky already. I didn't even know it was Lucky, man. I was so upset about it. But then I also met Tony Baloney. I met Underground Organics. And these are people that I all first was introduced to Trichomoe chasers. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me to actually meet these people in person, I was like, oh shit, this what's up. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely
this movement has to keep moving, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't worry about what anybody else is doing or what other live streams got going on. We've been doing this from the beginning, and we just got to keep it going, man, because we got people actually growing with us, man.
Most definitely. Nah, I'm with that 100%, bro. Straight up.
Word, man.
Definitely. Yeah, man, it's good to have you back on the panel, bro. Real shit, man.
Hey, Condo Grower had a question, and let's ask DC. We haven't talked to him for a while, so let's let DC answer the question. How early do you start IPM with seedlings and clones?
Well, with seedlings and clones, right? Clones, I can't really speak on clones too much because I'm not, let's just say I haven't really dealt with clones as much as other people have. But from seedlings, after your first week, start going at it, man. Go at it with, like, I do organic. So a lot of the stuff that I spray on my plants it's not going to be harmful to the plant, regardless. You feel what I'm saying? So after a week, after you start seeing them leaves and stuff pop up and you feel that your plants is strong enough to spray without it leaning over, you're good to go. You're good to go with IPM. But IPM is so important to growing. It's just as important as the lights that you put in your room. It's just as important as what you feed your plant. Because if you ignore IPM and you wait till you see the signs of pests in your plants, it's usually too late already. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's usually too late already if you see the signs with your naked eye. You feel what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you might as well shoot yourself in the dick.
Yeah, and I know people don't like to hear that. Trust me, I didn't like to hear it when I first experienced. But what I'm saying is IPM is an essential part of growing, period. Whether you're growing vegetables or cannabis, it's just an essential part that cannot be ignored in growing, period. You see what I'm saying? So, in other words, it's all about how much you care about your garden. So if you're too lazy to take care of IPM and a one to spray them here once or twice a week, you're going to get what's coming to you, man. Because like I said on the comments earlier, bugs are resilient and they will find a way to get into your garden.
Oh, most definitely. So let me ask you this question, though. You've done a little bit of outdoor, am I correct? Or if not done a little bit outdoor, you've been around people that have done outdoor. Correct?
I have. Yes, I have.
Okay. So even though we all agree that IPM is very, very, it's a crucial part that we need to do, would you say that people that grow indoor vegetables or whatever, cannabis vegetables, or whatever, should be more conscious of what IPM, of doing an IPM regimen than people that grow outdoors? Would you say it should be about the same?
Well, the IPM regimen should be about the same, but it's all on your attitude of growing. See, I do organic, but other people care about their monetary value of what they're growing, meaning that if they find a pest, they're going to grow it out regardless. But this is the importance of IPM. If you start IPM early, more than likely you won't have to worry about these things. So in essence, what I'm saying is outdoors or indoors, IPM should be treated the same, meaning that your pests, whether they're indoors or outdoors, they're going to destroy your crop. They will, man. Once they're in there, they will destroy your crop. Now, with growing outdoors, especially cannabis, you will. It's no doubt about it that the quality is not as great as indoors. And I know people don't want to hear this, but that's only because you're dealing with more issues. You're dealing with pests that you really can't. It's a limit to how you can control outdoor growing. If anybody understands what I'm really saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Because you're more out in the elements with that. You're more in the elements with that.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's not just pests that you're dealing with, but you're also dealing with the environment, however it may be. You feel what I'm saying? And you're dealing with rain getting into your plants, humidity, PM, all that. So all that comes to account in outdoor growing as well. With indoor growing, the great thing about it is that you can control your environment.
True that.
You can control your environment whether you're doing organics or not. That's the great thing about indoor growing. That's why the value of indoor flower tends to be higher, if you notice that in the market. You know what I'm saying? Like outdoor grows tend to be a little bit cheaper than indoor.
Right.
That's because you can control the quality of the end result.
Okay. All right.
Real quick, we have Joshua Steensland in the chat. Wanted to say what's up to him, but he said that in the chat he was saying that he's switching to no spray IPM, just all bugs, all predatory bugs from now on. So
and even cool. And you know what? And I'm glad that he mentioned that, because that's also essential to organic growing. Essential, meaning that you can only spray to a certain place. Right, everybody knows this.
Right,
and that's mainly veg. And once you get into flower, man, you got to let it do what it do. So this is where the predatory mites and all that, whatever have you, that you want to introduce into your garden come to effect. This is where they come into play. You feel what I'm saying? Since you can't spray doing flower, now they take over and do the work that you can't do anymore. This is the concept of it. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they definitely also have a role in growing organically. This is part of IPM. And this is the biological means of attacking pests into your garden. So, and understanding all this, man, I'm telling you, man, all this goes hand in hand and it works. And now I know a lot of people think that introducing predator mites, that you're going to end up with these bugs in your flowers and all that. Not true. Being so that when all the source of food is gone, they're cannibals. They're cannibal pests, so they start to eat each other out until pretty much nothing left.
Got you.
You feel what I'm saying? So if there's no food in your garden, if there's no more pests in your garden, they start to cannibalize each other.
Predator mites are not herbivores. They don't eat plants. They eat other pests. Exactly. Got you.
Exactly.
Got you.
And shout out to Joshua Steenland, man, because I swear to God, man, I kind of been bottling my my concept behind everything he's doing. The only thing I'm doing different is that I'm trying to use the energy of the sun or the light source of the sun into my garden or whatever may have you. I'm trying to cut back on the energy that I'm actually putting out. You feel what I'm saying? So, but Joshua Steenland has a great channel. And for what I also understand, he has a new IG as well called Freshwater Farms. So for you guys that are actually just starting out and are curious about organics, he's showing you step by step from beginning right now, from beginning.
Right.
So it would be a good opportunity for you to follow what he's doing on his IG page right now, which is Freshwater Farms. So if you're into organics and you want to know about no-till, he's actually showing you from beginning right now, from beginning step, like for sure. And it's indoors, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not no outdoor grow or anything, man. And what I'm seeing from right there, man, it's going to be some fire coming out of there, boy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. Shout outs to Joshua Steensland. His garden is legit, for sure. Go check it out if you haven't already, for sure.
Josh, the homie. I need some of that kombucha, Josh. You need to start shipping that shit to Michigan, bruh. I need that.
What is the regulation of shipping that? I'm curious.
I need that Steensland kombucha.
So that's what. So when I had my case with those, the first thing I did, I went out and got all these chemical compounds. I tried to get rid of them, supposedly organic, non-organic, whatever the case may be, dude. I was just like, I got to try to save it. Finally bought some predator mites. The only problem when I brought my predator mites, they came, they was dead. I was like, that's a bitch, you know. So, but I can say this. Whether, in my opinion, whether you use an organic spray or whether you use predator mites, which I do agree with DC Farmer, you can only spray so much before it becomes to a point to where you're going to have to do something else. Your IPMs, whatever regimen you decide to use, stick with it. Stick with it. Like we were saying before, you in your analysis process of your IPMs, when not only you analyzing the effect or what the, you know, if your population is going down, increasing, whatever, you also want to analyze whether or not that shit is working or not.
Right,
so that
right.
You know, you got to switch up. You know what I mean? So,
and Monster,
yeah, I totally agree with that.
And Monster also made a good point earlier, is that switch it up once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, the main thing you also want to do is make it uncomfortable for them to even be in your garden. So switch it up. Don't let them get used to what you're actually doing. Switch it up once in a while. It definitely works. And another thing that Monster said earlier about neem works very well. But here's another tip. If you mix your neem with Karanja, 60-40 mix, 60% being neem, 40 mix being Karanja, the percentage and the more effectiveness of it, it's even better. So when you switch it up, when you switching everything up once in a while, man, it works. It's tremendous. Like I said, make it uncomfortable for them to even be in your garden.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. For real. So we covered. So we talked about a few things. We really didn't touch. We kind of like skipped around a couple of the different type of pests and different things like that. DC, before I get into my next little rant about that type of stuff, we wanted to start doing a no-till show again. If you're interested, man, just hit us up. Let us know what days be good for you. Josh said that he'd already do it, so it'd be awesome to have you and Josh on at the same time. So
I'm definitely down.
Just let me know. Just let me know when would be a good time for you, man, so I could schedule you and Josh on so we can do another no-till segment.
Sounds cool to me.
So when we're talking about, we'll stick with pests. We'll leave PM to the side for right now. We'll just speak about pests. Right now, I guess the hardest one that everybody's been having a trouble getting rid of is russet mites. Would you all agree?
I mean, thank God, knock on wood, I haven't had to deal with any russet mites yet, but I see, other growers, are having a tough time dealing with them.
Russet mites seem to be the worst. If you get russet mites, it seems like it's the worst. It seems like it's like they're roaches. They'll survive a nuclear holocaust, it seems like. I mean, I see a lot of people that just be like, fuck it, cut everything down. Like, cut everything down, start over. Broad mites, spider mites, I see people have a tendency to do a little bit more, stick into it longer to get rid of them. But it seems like when they get the russet mites, though, man, it's like, nah, bro, we done with this crap. You better off just shutting everything, cutting everything
Scrapping
down.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's that, Perk?
Oh, I was gonna say, fucking russet, any type of microscopic mite. I don't know exactly what species they are the most common one, but yeah, russet, broad, hemp mite, whatever you want to call it. They're definitely a fucking little devil. If you've never had them, they'll fuck your whole grow up. And what's really fucked about them is that when they are eating your plant, they're also injecting like a toxin into them, so it stunts the growth of your plant, and your plant starts to like get like weird like deformities at your growth shoots. And so that can be definitely a bitch to deal with. And the fact that they're microscopic, like we were saying earlier, can be a huge issue, because you can, if you don't know, you'll definitely start by misdiagnosing the issue. But if you can, I guess the one thing I would say is, if you can get rid of everything, best advice, just chop everything down. You know what I mean? Clean the whole room, burn some sulfur, do something along those lines if you can. But if you have strains that, that you're trying to hold on to, well then, yeah, I guess you're going to have to battle it. But yeah, they're definitely fucked.
Well, okay. So let me ask you a question. When we, any type of mites or, because there are some strains that are very resilient to pest damage. Am I correct? Some strains that are just resilient to it. They fight it better. It takes a hell of a long time for it to actually take a huge effect on the plant untreated. But
yeah, some strains seem to be more resistant for sure. I noticed that with the russet mites, like they would go for certain strains, more than others, or at least they'd be more susceptible on certain strains than other strains for some reason, which is interesting.
All right, so those of you, anybody in the chat that's been doing this for a long time, and anybody on the panel, let me ask you a question, and I'm just reaching here, but would you say that you've seen more strains out there that are least resistant now than you would have, let's say, years ago? Or has it always been this way?
That's a hard question, real quick. I don't...
Yeah.
We could look at it another way.
Before,
I mean, think about it.
Before a couple years ago, I never.
We could look at it.
Heard
we
of
could
them
look at it another way, though. Let's think about it like this, right? Let's say you have a garden with 6 different strains, right?
Yeah.
And I also heard a lot of people mention mites. Spotted mites is also a bitch, y'all. Spotted mites is just like russet mites. Them motherfuckers don't want to go nowhere.
I heard that about spotted mites.
So let's look at it. Let's look at it as you having a garden and then you growing 6 different strains, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, you have these fucking spider mites in one particular fucking strain, right? I look at it as being, hey, that's just what they prefer right there. You know what I'm saying? Like the terpenes on that plant must be nice. So that's how I look at it. I don't know. By me saying that means that I have had experience with my garden. I do like to grow different strains or whatever, but I have noticed, and I don't know if it's because the particular strain is more resistant to the mites or whatever it may be, or the mites just prefer a particular plant than the other. You know what I'm saying? So I really can't say, but this is true that when growing different strains, it seems to me that mites, I don't know, whichever kind of mites may be, they tend to lean to one particular strain as opposed to another.
Right.
They like the terps.
Like the terp. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, they prefer this terp. There's some fire over here.
So that's what I'm saying. So like somebody in the chat said that the newer strains are weaker strains when it comes to things like that. And I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Like, right, do you think that the hybridizing of the strains is making them weaker, or do you think that there's hybrid vigor there, and you know the combination of the different plants, some will be more resilient? You know, I don't know.
But
they always talk about hybrid vigor.
If they're not picking plants with the resistances, you know what I'm saying? If they're picking phenos that like might have a high susceptibility to certain pests, and then they breed with that, that's gonna pass on that trait.
Further deteriorate that resistance.
And real quick, just to speak on that, since I'm the quote unquote biologist over here, no, not to throw that out. I mean, like, I'm the biologist, but let me speak.
Oh, you just like your boss, huh, Per?
Yeah, exactly. Listen up. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, in terms of introducing new alleles, like that's one of the major benefits of sexual reproduction, we think, right, is that it introduces new alleles into populations, right, and it helps us in theory to stay in the same place, quote unquote, when it comes to what we call the Red Queen effect, or the Red Queen hypothesis, which is basically a hypothesis that was developed that says that organisms are constantly basically evolving new resistance and defenses to pathogens and parasites, while at the same time these pathogens and parasites are evolving ways to manipulate those defenses, right? And so they call it the Red Queen effect, like Alice in Wonderland, because you're constantly running, quote unquote, and your phylogeny is constantly running to stay in the same place. You know what I mean, quote unquote. So that's one of the benefits of sexual reproduction. So I could see that with maybe certain clone-only strains, or even, you know, doing a lot of breeding that, like inbreeding. You know, that's one bad thing with inbreeding, is that, you know, you're not necessarily introducing the novel alleles or genetic information that you normally would be if you were, quote unquote, outcrossing, right? And so, you know, you have a tendency to build up deleterious recessives. But just you'll be more susceptible. You know, that's why like asexual organisms are, you know, I don't know. It's a weird thing, because obviously asexual organisms exist and they do have defenses to these pathogens and parasites or whatever. But it doesn't help in, I guess, a long-term evolutionary scheme.
Yeah, but do you think, though, those asexual species, they're just surviving more, not because of their resistance to the pest, but they can reproduce, you know, with themselves, so they can instantly just reproduce. They don't have to find a mate.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Different strategies, right? Like a lot of asexual organisms happen to be microscopic and are capable of quick generational turnover, right? So that also helps, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the reproducing.
I'm glad you brought up.
Yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind. I guess it just depends on the strains being crossed, right? If you're introducing, like, kind of like what Monster says, if you're selecting also for resistance, as well as, you know, doing large scale breeding, or just introducing, you know, maybe a land race to other things, then introducing more novel information genetically, you know, then I think that's probably always a good thing, at least in long term, evolutionarily speaking.
I'm glad you brought that up. About reproduction and And because Joshua Steesland just made a comment, and I want, it's, to me, I feel like it has some sense to it, but I want to see what you guys think as well. Josh said that you can clone resistance out of a plant. So here's my thinking. A lot of times when we take clones, we're trying to when we take the clones from the mom, we're preserving that individual plant because we like it for something about that phenome that we like. But Josh says that you can also clone the resistance out of it, out of a plant that is naturally resistant to pests.
Well, yeah, I guess that's because cloning is technically an asexual strategy, right? So, or yeah, because you're not, it's not sexual. So I could see that, right? It depends on the conditions that you keep your plant. We're always hyping that about, quote unquote, what we've dubbed as, some sort of epigenetic drift. Is that, yeah, obviously plants can be, depending on how you keep your environment and stuff like that. And I think that it doesn't help either. Yeah. Either way, like that cloning of cloning, just, in terms of that Red Queen hypothesis, I don't think that, you definitely got to be keeping your mothers on point, because that I would think is the real issue.
Okay. All right. So I got a question from 420 Mad Bloke. He says, I have mites at the moment. They aren't eating the plant with uniform yellow dots everywhere. They're not eating the plant with uniform yellow dots everywhere. I do have trips though. I don't see the typical mite damage. Should I treat them, or should I treat to get rid of them? Well, I would say if you feel like you have mites, if you know you have mites, then yeah, treat them. But you should be treating them both. I would treat the thrips too as well. I mean, shit, thrips could be almost just as bad as mites, from what I'm understanding.
I think thrips are worse than the mites.
Yeah.
Because, like, my experience, the mites, they're like a nuisance and stuff. But at least when I was like, indoor, it seemed like the lights were close enough that they didn't like going up to like the colas and the canopy, like right under that high intensity light. So they never like webbed up too bad on me. But man, thrips, man, they will just suck the juice out of your leaves dry. You'll it looks like a mucus, is on the leaves, and yeah, it'll just suffocate them,
Okay, so yeah, he's saying that the mite is a white pearl shape. I don't know what that could be as far as a mite. I mean, that could be broad mites. I mean, when I had them, the white, or that could be russet mites.
Broad mites really not going to be able to see with your eye unless.
No, you're gonna have to see. Yeah, I had to get that microscope. You guys told me to get. I had to look them up, and you can see the little white
mite. Yeah, so you can, if you see it with your eye, you can rule out broad mites.
Yeah, he doesn't say whether he can see him with his eye or not. He just said
if you see him with your eyes, you can rule out your bro. Period.
You think so?
No, yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. If you see him with your eyes, man, at that point in time, you seeing web happening, that it's an infestation. It's too late now. By the time you're trying to treat this plant, you're gonna kill it by trying to treat it the way you're supposed to.
Not necessarily, bro. Not necessarily. Like you can like I've had some plants. I'm gonna say the worst time that I had mites, bro, was like one time in week 6 of flowering. And I noticed on the corner, in the back corner, like on the side of the wall, like the plants that were on the wall side, I was noticing some mite damage right on the leaves on that wall. Nowhere else in the garden, bro, just right there in this fucking spot. And I plucked all the leaves off, and it got me through that flower period. They didn't web up or none of that shit. Like every fucking leaf that I would see mite damage on, I would just pluck that shit off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, any leaf around it. You feel
definitely,
me?
Definitely, to be honest, you one of the lucky few. You know what I'm saying? You caught it. You actually got rid of that one plant that had the infestation. But to be honest with you, and to be honest with anybody growing, these mites have a stress effect in your plants. So even if you do carry your plant all the way through, you're not getting the quality out of the genetics that you're growing. You're not getting the quality out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Let's not get it wrong. Cannabis is very resilient. You can take it to flower even if you have these pest infestation. It will go to flower on you. But just
I agree with you.
The quality and the stress that you're putting on the plant, it has an effect in the end result for sure.
The plant knew it had a foreign, attack was going on. The plant knows that in that part of the plant, and the plant, tries to take energy away from, doing its thing to produce buds or whatever to try to fight off this invader or whatever. So no, I agree with you on that for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because that was definitely in the back of my mind. Like, damn, I wonder. You know what I'm saying? Is this plant not going to do what it's supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, and I know, man. And I know growing, man. Trust me, when you grow this plant from beginning to end, that's the last thing you want to see in your growth.
Bro, I think everybody got mites, bro. Honestly, that's my mentality. Everybody got mites.
On our face.
Probably mites is everywhere around you. Let's put it this way. Here's a tip.
If you got plants, bro, you got bugs. They just might not be to the point where you see them because the conditions are favorable for them to you know what I'm saying? To populate your shit to get noticed. But I really truly believe, bro, you got plants, you got bugs. They're just not to the point where you notice it.
Okay, well, like, here's a tip for like growers and anybody doing any kind of indoor growing or whatever. I got this for my lady. Get you a bottle of 91% proof alcohol, right? And put it in a spray bottle. So every time you come in and out of your garden, spray yourself with that 91% alcohol. Because anything that alcohol lands on, it will kill it immediately, especially mites. It will kill it on contact. So if you're bringing that into your garden, if you're walking into your door, spray yourself first before you walk fully into your garden with some 91% alcohol. It's not going to damage your clothes. It's not going to hurt you because it evaporates very quick. But
I would recommend ethanol, and then you can drink it also.
Hey, whatever works. But you get the idea, right? You know what I'm saying?
Spray it in your mouth a little bit. Oops.
Like strong alcohol kills these bugs on contact. So that's just a tip. Put it in a bottle. Spray yourself when you're in and out of your garden. I know a lot of people have pets. I know a lot of people like to be outdoors. Like I said, bugs are very, very resilient, man. And half of these bugs you can't see with your naked eye, man. So you don't know what you're bringing into your garden.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Most definitely for everybody.
Yeah. And I got that. I got that from my old lady, man, because she has an issue with bed bugs, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know bed bugs is probably a problem for like everywhere you go, hotels and all that. So she always carries a bottle of alcohol, 91% proof, the strongest you could buy in the store or whatever, and puts it in a spray bottle, man. And she likes to spray the beds down with it, the bed sheets, spray herself.
Sound like
whatever.
My mom, bro. My mom be doing the same shit, spraying the doorknobs and all kind of crazy shit. I'd be like, lady, what you doing? Come on, man. Let's go. So you over here cleaning off the damn doorknobs and shit. Let's go, man.
Nah, but I'm telling you, though, man. That's what we was talking about earlier. I was telling them, what's the first thing we all do once it starts getting nice outside after that winter? What's the first thing we do? It's if you live in a house, you go outside. You in your yard. You picking up trash that the winter might have left. You get in your garden, getting ready.
I guess you already outside.
First, you got cabin fever for being in so much, man.
So the first thing I did as soon as I came in the house, man, stripped butt naked, went and took a shower, man. I was like, I gotta get this shit up off. But yeah, I feel you though. I feel you.
So what are some products that y'all like to use? I ain't hear nobody else really talk about the products they use in their IPM.
Well, you know me, man. I'm a mites mildew man. I use that. That's an organic. It's all organic. Huh?
What's the active ingredient?
It's the same thing that's in method 1.
I think he said it was azodectrin, which is the active ingredient in neem. Yep.
Okay. And so what it is, but he's got other ingredients in it that's like, remember I told you guys that shit smelled perp. Did you get it? When you smelled it, what did it smell like to you when you opened the bottle? You remember?
It smelled like ass.
Yeah,
I don't know. It smelled like some weird like concoction. Like it almost reminded me of like some shit I'd make with like garlic or onions or some shit.
Exactly. It had that strong onion garlic smell to it, but it's not really garlicky, but onion smell to it. It was real strong. I mean, you can smell that shit. But I use that and I use method 1, and then I have neem oil. And those are 3 that I just rotate around. I just rotate them in. What I like about mice mildew is that it's a soil drench as well. I can soil drench my product. Don't have to worry about anything. So it takes care of fungus, gnats, PM, mites is especially great for spider mites, but it will take care, we'll deal with any type of mite. But man, I'm religious on that, bro. I'm religious on it. Every 7 days it suggests that you should do a spray with mice and mildew. So in between them 7 days, I'm hitting that bitch with method 1. I ain't fucking around, bro, for real.
Yeah, and I mean, why not? It doesn't hurt the plant.
Right.
It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Yep. So I will say all organic, man. I don't use any chemical sprays or any. I will say when I first got them, that was the first thing I did. Ran out and got something. I didn't give a fuck if it was chemical. Nah, I got to get rid of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But now, man, I've had so much success with just organic spray. I'm good.
Yeah, legal, bro. You really a testament to fucking coming back from, you know what I'm saying, like a fucking hardcore infestation. You know what I'm saying, of what you can. Come back from, because a lot of people, they get so frustrated and shit, they tear their gardens down and just stop growing and shit like that. Like, seen a few people do that before, you know what I'm saying? But if you have a plan and what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Don't get discouraged. Yeah, definitely. That is true.
I had them back to back, man. Back to back. I was down for 8 months, I think it was. 6. It was 6 months I was down for back to back. And all I did, man, was just clean. I come down before I put up another tent. I bleach everything. I spray first. Let it sit for like 12 hours. Come down, wipe it down with some more bleach. I just clean, man. Sprayed and clean before I put another plant in that garden, man. I had to be sure.
So what about molds and shit like that?
I've never had an issue.
And molds and different types of mildews and like powdery mildews and shit like that. What are some ways you can get powdery mildew? I've honestly, I don't think I've ever had PM, in the whole fucking damn near 20 years I've been growing. I've never had PM, kid. I can't think of a time.
I've had PM twice, which was just recently, and then like 2-3 years ago, some shit like that. I had PM. Yeah, real quick, the products I use, I agree with Buffalo. I try to stick nowadays. I try to stick more on some organic shit. I mostly just use neem. I'll use like silicate. I guess that's not organic because potassium silicate, no hydrocarbons. But I'll use some potassium silicate. Mixed with as like an emulsifier, mixed with some neem. I'll do a little bit of essential oils in there as well. So I got like rosemary oil, cinnamon. I have basil. I think I have some orange oil as well. But I also use a 3-part OHN, just the basic ginger, garlic, cinnamon. I also recommend the garlic probably more than either of the other 2 parts. The cinnamon's always good shit, but the garlic is supposed to contain like organic sulfur compounds. So that's always good if you're fighting mildew or mites, either one. But yeah, that's mostly what I stick to. I also like if now that I've been using, you've heard it from who? From Buffalo.
Hey man, but I'm telling you,
tell me that. He ain't tell me that.
I love
whatever. But
I love Blunt to death, your teammate and everything, bro. But I sprayed that garlic OHN he gave me, bro, and them bitches grew muscles like they was working out in the gym.
What you mean?
Them bitches got, man, they went from just eating up a little bit to like, whew, it was like, okay, you spray this on.
Oh, the mites did?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Them bitches sprayed, pumped up like they walked in the gym like Pee Wee Herman, walked out that bitch like Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro. They was just, fuck. I was like, fuck, man. I should say this. Maybe it was my environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool to say that maybe my environment is what it was. That maybe it just wasn't a match for the environment, or maybe I was just too heavily infestated. I don't know. All I know is that they ate that shit like it was water, bro. I mean, it was like, yeah, spray me again.
Well, I would recommend it to people if they're into that type of thing. If they're already into the KNF shit, then yeah, obviously they're going to be doing foliars with it.
Right.
And I think that whatever, you might want to step it up, but I think that would work. I think Steensland has a good point in the chat too. Maintaining proper VPD helps you to build your cuticle layer, which is the waxy lipid layer on the leaf surface, which is why I also I also recommend that silicate because spraying silicate helps to strengthen the cell walls. Like everybody, same old deal everyone does.
True that.
And while we talking about VPD, right? I have a question for Joshua Steens while he's in the chat, right? I'm nearing the end of my build. Now, with my build originally, and this question goes out to Joshua Steens if you're listening. With my build originally, I meant to use a passive air system, meaning that I'm going to have air coming in one direction and leaving out the other, right? So if anybody been following me, they seen that my greenhouse has an open roof, meaning that the sun shines through.
Okay.
Lately, when I've been working in there, man, the temperature in that motherfucker is like an oven. I'm telling you, it's cooking, man. So I don't think that a passive air system will work in what I'm trying to do. Meaning that would it be better to run a split AC in a sealed room and what I'm doing? That's the question that I'm really asking to Joshua Stenger. So if he ever has the time to answer that for me, that's good. Because before I start cutting holes, I really would like to know the answer to that, man. Because I'm really leaning towards the AC unit. Because I think the room is getting so hot from the sun shining in that it's going to be real hard for me to control the temperature in the room without having some sort of AC unit running or whatever the case may be.
He says yes.
Going on, everybody.
So he's saying, yeah, I should go with the AC.
What if you go with the 2 fans on each end?
But see, I thought about that, but I thought about that, and that's a good point. But when I'm telling you, this room gets super hot. I have a layer of insulation, and then I also put another layer of radiant insulation as my walls. So it's like I have a double layer insulation, which makes the room even hotter. I mean, when I'm talking about it's hot, it is hot. I have a metal door in there, and when I touch the door, it almost burns.
You got ventilation going?
No, I'm still in the building process, but even it's so hot that what I'm thinking is that it's so hot that even the passive air is not going to be able to cool it down to the point where I want to be at.
You got a roof on?
Yeah. Because what if it gets like 90 degrees outside?
Yeah, nah, passive air ain't gonna work, kid. It's outdoors. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
to truly insulated, nigga, you gonna have to put like sheetrock on the outside, like a house.
No, it's already insulated. It's already definitely insulated.
Yeah, I know, but that's not protecting it from heating up.
Exactly. It's making it even worse. It's insulated so well that it's actually holding the heat in.
You don't have to get an AC. That's the only way.
Yeah.
That's what
think about it like this, though, DC Farmer. You know, it's so well insulated when you have that AC going. It'll be like a cooler. It'll hold, and the AC won't have to run as hard. Yep. So it won't run as hot as you think it will. Or, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
Josh says yes, and he says it would help with the temp fluctuations. With the high temp spikes, the humidity needs to be raised in order to prevent excess transpiration.
Right. The hotter you go, the hotter you go, the more humidity you want.
Yeah, I love my team, man. I love my team. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Josh was a Trichomoe trace, man. I love my team, bro. So when shit go wrong, I got so much support. It's like calling one of them sex lines and just pick a number which one I want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I love my squad. I'm serious. You know, I'm joking about it, but seriously, man, I love my squad, man, because if I have a problem, man, I can hit anybody up on something that I know somebody's gonna be able to tell me something.
Instant satisfaction.
Yep, and even if I know some shit, I can still learn some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's the whole thing about it. You can just reach out to me like, what do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? And you want that opinion. As a grower, you want another grower's opinion. You know, especially someone that experienced it before. You know, like you, King Buffalo, you do BWC, right?
Yes, sir.
And if I ever had any question about that you'd be the first person I'm asking, you know, because you have hands-on experience with that.
You know, all you got to do is hit me up.
Exactly.
I'm working with 420 girl right now on her DWC issue that she has. Now, she's and just working with her, a lot of people, she was doing a live stream on IG, and I'm sitting there listening, and I can't type fast enough on my phone to try to say, don't listen to them motherfuckers because they're going to have you fucked up. I can't even type it fast enough. You know?
And I'm glad you said that because I seen that she's also come a long way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? From when she first started growing, because I've been following her from the beginning as well. And I don't know if any of y'all know 420. You talking about 420 girl, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And follow her, man. I don't know if from the beginning I've seen her grow. When she first started growing her pants, I don't want to talk about nobody bad or anything, but when she first started growing, them plants, they looked like they were suffering.
Hey, ask her who helped her. Ask her who took her under their wing and helped her out. Ask her that.
And I didn't even know that, man. I didn't even know
talk.
that.
Go look back. The comments are still on the video. You can go look. That's history. It's in stone.
Good, and that's good to know, man. Because if you look at her grow now, man, it's spectacular, man. She knows what she's doing now. Everything's is on point right now, man. And that's the person.
When everybody else used to be like, "Looks good, looks great, looks good, looks great." Monster was the one like, man. "You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this."
That's what I was.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what I was telling the live stream. I'm sitting there. You know me, man. I could be doing a million things at one time, and then when something just caught my ear, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, what did you just say?" I'm like, "Oh hell no!" And I'm sitting there trying to type that shit in fast. I'm like, "Oh no,
right." Like, yeah, you know.
I had to send her videos. I had to DM her videos just to show her how my setup was, and show her what give her an example of what she might want to try to do. Not say that mine is correct or right, because DWC you can do a lot different ways, and people have had some huge successes in a lot of different ways. But from what they're telling you at this moment, nah, look, this is what I got. If you want to try to mimic this, mimic, because I've had success with it. I know you can have success with it. I learned a lot from Loki. I learned a hell of a lot from Man's Food. When I first started, Man's Food was the one that I went to religiously when I started my DWC, because he was the man on the scene that was killing it in DWC. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like you said, man, that's what this team is about. Man, you reach out to any one of us, man. Any one of us. Anyone.
Right. I mean, if you guys know her, you see her now, she's turning over strains like it ain't nothing now, man. She's always got something going.
That's what's up.
So I'm gonna get it right though. I'm gonna get it right. Because see, I think what they wasn't understanding is that she took a clone and put it in roots. A lot of these guys, they don't do that. They use rock wools, rapper rooters, whatever they do, and it's a different. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you go from a rooted clone and just put it in a DWC without any rock wool or rapper rooter. It's totally different. For one, your pH level is going to be different because that rock wool or that rapper rooter is going to fluctuate that for a little bit right off the bat, because it's a different, instead of just putting a plant straight in with just roots. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get some type of fluctuation. Not only that, you want the root to do some work. You don't want to make it easy for the root and just stick the root straight down into the water. You know what I'm saying? And just have it. No, you want that root to stretch a little bit. It's just like if you transplant, how many of you guys water your plant as soon as you transplant? I don't do it. I don't
Everybody
do it. No, I don't do it anymore because I'm talking
a little bit. Give it a little bit. What the fuck?
No, well, you gotta understand. In cocoa, my cocoa's got a little bit of a moisture content to it, anyways. All right. So I don't do any water because I've seen a better production in my veg when that root has to stretch out from being transplanted to search for the water. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like when we do, what was we talking about, Monster? I think it was seedlings or something that we said we like to see it get a little dry to make the root mass, reach and go out.
After clones. No, I agree with you, bro. But I mean, it's a fine line. Like that cocoa still has to, like coming out of the bag, I don't think it has enough moisture. On top of it, I
don't do bags no more. Even though I did buy this one bag.
Oh, you do the block, so you soak in your shit, right?
Cocoa's already a little somewhat moisture in.
Got you. Okay, no, I'm doing the same shit as you. Then I'm doing the same method. Yep.
So I don't water it right away. I don't water it right away. I transplant them, sit them, let the roots start to straighten. That's what I was trying to explain. There's the same thing when you're doing a rooted clone in the water, which, in my opinion, which has been my success. You're doing a rooted clone. I don't put it automatically right down the water. I might have it to right where the bubbles just lightly touching the roots to make those roots reach out and stretch. It makes for a healthier plant.
For sure.
But that's
side note.
What's that?
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, side note, having a plant too dry obviously can decrease its osmotic pressure, the water pressure in the leaves, making it more susceptible to mildew and or other pests.
True that.
But just a side note, talking about mildew earlier.
Yeah. True that. But yeah. So yeah, that's what's up, man. We all be trying to help everybody out. Anybody and everybody. Oh, so let's take a little break, and then we'll come back to this pest issue. Let's take a little bullshit break. Chill with the chat, see what they doing. I see everybody up in here. Somebody pro mix and add some Paralite.
What up, Daniel?
Watch, no need for correct.
What up, everybody?
We got
Dirty?
D Dirty, Daniel D Dirty D up in the house.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man? I came in late. Sorry about that. Going on, chat.
Talk good, bro.
DC Farms. What's going on, bro?
All right, what's going on, everyone?
So what everybody smoking on tonight? What everybody smoking on tonight?
Man, I'm smoking on this Slurricane right now, bro. Shout out to the people that I linked up with from what's their company? Select Genetics, I think is their company. Select Genetics. He gave me a little sample of this Slurricane. Shit, smoking.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Hurricaning it up. I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm smoking some Northern Lights right now.
How's that?
Yeah, I told you I'm an old school head, man. I'm on that Northern Lights right now.
How that smoke? What that taste like?
Man, it's earthy. It's earthy. It's an earthy smoke. It's got a floral smell to it. A little bit of funk, just a little bit of funk, not a lot of funk. But the smoke is smooth as hell, man. It's real smooth, and it'll creep up on you and beat you upside your head like a drum.
Yeah, shout outs to the chat. Fucking IMD1 Super holding it down. Fucking J-Rock 420, Mr. J-Rock 420, rather. Fucking all the homies, Mike Jones, Giant Skies, Mike Jackson, Jack Lee, Billy Ives, Real 100, _212. Got all the homies in here.
Everybody.
Hoss Farms up in here. We got Mike Jones and Mike Jackson. Well, we about to do an album.
It's gonna be a hit for sure.
You got the Oregon Bud Man up in here. Matter of fact, he was a little bit testy. I seen his comments a little bit testy because we didn't ask him his opinion on that shit on the building that my man DC Farmer is. So we'll give Oregon Bud Man. We'll give him a couple questions to see what he got to say about a few things tonight.
Oh, for real? Cause I ain't know, man. I ain't know Oregon Bud Man knew anything about that, man. I would have definitely asked him.
He's a jack of all trades, man. Oregon Bud.
Hey, man, I'm a fan, man. I'm definitely a fan. If y'all don't know, follow him on IG, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
This dude keeps it real 100 all the time. It be killing me, man, because I be seeing some people getting in their feelings.
They feelings like they got on polka dot panties, bro. I'll be like, yo, look at this dude.
Yeah, sir. Like, hey, for real though, hey, that's my dude right there, man. I definitely mess with Oregon Budman, man, because I follow on my IG, man, and I love it, man. I definitely love it, man.
Yep, he be
the wolf.
The wolf, right? He got me going to do some wolf maymays, right? Yes, sir. Oh, Billy Ives. Oh, Monster. I'm glad you brought that up. I got to give you the address of the dude who won the contest last week. I got to give.
Okay, I knew it was somebody else.
Yeah. I got it. I got his address. But my man Billy Ives said he just popped those purple Starburst times Animal Mint. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, and for all of y'all that don't know, Budman got some good genetics. I ain't gonna lie, man. I done grew a couple of his strains, and I was pleased with that White Lightning, which I named. I named it. Yes, I did. I named it the White Lightning, which is that Java Pie Shockwave times the White Russian.
Right.
That shit, hey, bro, I got more beans of that. That shit might wind up being one of in the stable for a minute, bro. That was
but man, I gotta link up with you, bro, so I can get some shit to run this outdoor season, brother. I need to run some of your stuff, man.
Yeah. Right. I know. I need some of those White Russian crosses, dude. That takes me back. We used to get White Russian on the reg like a decade ago, and it was always fire. Real dense ass buds. Fucking real dense, but super fire. We used to pay like $400 to $4,400 a P type shit back in the day.
Damn. That's some White Russian?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I never smoked it, but I used to hear about it going around, though. That shit used to go to like very limited amounts of people. Like everybody did fuck with that shit because it was just too expensive.
That cross he got of it, man. I like that Bewitch F2. That's been my favorite so far. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that cross of that White Russian, bro, it's running like, it's right there. It's right there.
Oh, you know what? One little bug. I don't mean to. I know we're taking a little break, but we can go into this after the break. But you know, one bug we didn't talk about.
A
It was
lot of them.
fungus gnats. Yeah, we did talk about a lot of them, but the main one is like fungus gnats, right? That's like the main one.
Yep, that'll work.
Fucking
Yeah,
hate fungus gnats.
Hate them, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking hate them bitches, bro. They get in
ruin
your
everything.
eyes. They get in your
So
mouth. You
annoying.
might breathe one up your nose. One might go in your ear. Like gnats is they tragic.
I got a trick for that ass though.
What is that? I need to know.
Get a bowl of or some apple cider vinegar, bro.
Yeah,
I thought he said
I'll
I thought he
give you
said
that.
Ebola.
Who was you in my mama's kitchen, bro? Who was you in my mama's kitchen, bro?
And it attracts them. For some reason, they'll go straight into the damn.
Yo, Dirty, it's crazy you said that, G, because I'm reading this magazine right now. It's I'm reading this magazine. I don't know if y'all can see my screen, but this is the MMM report. It's a little cannabis magazine we got out here in Michigan. And yo, they said, I'm reading this shit right here, this fungus gnat shit, and why they got the bowl of apple cider vinegar right there.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That shit works for real.
Yeah, dude, though, it really does work.
Those are, I guess, no, those are nematodes right there, but those are the gnats. Or is that the gnat larva?
That's the larva, I think.
Yeah, that's the gnat larva.
Yeah, shit works, bro. I thought it was bullshit. I've been doing it for a while.
Hold on, they had this predator bug that I ain't never seen before in this motherfucker. Hold on, let me show y'all this shit real quick. Shit was crazy. Where the fuck is this predator bug? Yeah, this little magazine pretty dope. They be having
Most of the
little
magazine
grow tips. They got this article in here about enzymes that I think we should. Huh? You said what?
I said most of the magazines be having good ass tips from the hydro store.
Man, I got a stack of those, man. I stay with
Hell
mine.
yeah.
Got a stack of
And
them.
them enzymes been working for me towards the end of flower, bro. I've been using that to like leach all most of the sugars and the salts or whatever kind of buildup I have, the rest of those nutrients, to try to get a good flush towards the end, bro. And it seems to have been working.
That's what I've been
Labs too,
using
man.
lately, man. I've been using this SLF 100. That shit works.
Yeah.
I've
Hell
seen
yeah,
a
that's
nice.
that,
I've seen a nice. They look better. My plants just look better. I don't. It's the only thing I've added different to the garden other than Elite. So that's the only thing I can contribute it to.
In labs, bro. I've been doing labs like crazy, man. For some reason, they've been making them either bulk up and trike up a little harder for some reason. I don't know. It's my first time doing the KNF, but labs are the way to go when you're trying to flush, I guess. The KNF way.
My bad, my shit. Can y'all see my camera?
Hold on, let me put it on there so everybody can see it. Hold on. All right, I got you.
So this right here is called a minute pirate bug.
Was that the new Mike Tyson of the Predator mics?
Not, yeah, it's a predator bug. It eats all types of bugs. They said it eats everything. And I've never heard about this bug before. It's called a minute pirate bug. Y'all might want to do some research. I'm just reading about it right now.
Man, wake up in the middle of the night and find that joker chewing on your toes.
Right.
Oh,
so
shit.
I was
oh, what you said, Dose?
Oh, I was going to ask. We were talking about predator mites before and stuff. When do you guys think is the best time to introduce those? To your garden? Only when you see pests, or should you introduce them? Regularly. As your part of your IPM regimen.
Well, Josh is doing the no spray, so I would imagine that he's introducing them on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's doing no spray PM, so yeah, on a regular. I don't think you would just want to release them when you see something, because then you might have to buy 2 or 3 times as many. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
they're gonna take a lot longer versus just spraying them bitches with Avid and they fucking died at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then, yeah. So do you think then introduce them right before flower or mid veg?
I would probably put mid veg. I mean, just the earliest as possible, probably.
Well, like DC
Word.
said, if there's no other bugs there for them to eat, they'll just eat each other. So I guess you could probably introduce them as early as you want.
Some predatory bugs though are generalists too, so they can eat or detritivores, so they'll eat dead organic matter and stuff like that. But a lot of them, like DC was saying, will cannibalize each other and things like that. But some of them are generalists, so you have to look into the type of predatory bugs or whatever that you're gonna buy.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Won't they move to an area where there is a food source?
Yeah, they definitely search out the food source before anything else.
Word.
As far as the question goes, me personally, I do it right before I go into flower, because you got to keep in mind when you're in the vegetative state. Me personally, I'm spraying my plants. So I don't want to be buying predatory mites to kill them off with the stuff I'm spraying as well. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, right before I go to flower, I start to introduce my predator mites to the garden and all that, so they can take hold when you flip them into flower. So you know what I'm saying? That's something to keep in mind as well. But some predator mites are resistant to what you are using in IPMs, but some aren't. So you want to be wise on how you spending your money. You know what I'm saying?
Which brings up I'm sorry, go ahead,
Sorry. I was just going to say, so just to be safe, just do it right before flower, then you don't have to worry or waste your money. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
So okay, nematoids. What are nematoids? Nematoids are used for what? And then this will probably get into your question, what you want to talk to about monster as far as fungus, gnats, and root aphids. So nematoids are basically used to eat up pests that are in your soil, right? Your medium, right?
Mm-hmm. I thought could you use nematodes to combat the mites, like broad mites and russet mites? Because I thought their larva was in the soil and the nematodes would eat it or something like that. I mean, I don't have experience. I thought I read that somewhere though.
The broad mites I had I didn't dig in the soil to see if I could see, but I know I saw eggs on the back of the leaves. So maybe they do still put them in the soil or not, but I know the ones that I saw they were on the leaves.
Okay.
But so what I was saying was that I've seen some people buy, when I was doing my research, and I've seen that people would buy nematoids, packs of nematoids, because they're fairly reasonable in price, and put them in their yard to help. So it would cut down on the type of insects or pests that they might track into their garden. They would spread it in their yard, as a preventative maintenance before they even made it to the house. I was like, shit, that sounds like a good idea to me. That would at least help you out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nematodes are a classification of roundworm, apparently. But I guess apparently there are species. I've used them maybe a couple times, but yeah.
I do see the nematodes that they sell, but if you're growing organically, no-till, super soil, whatever the case may be, you have these organic matters, and you have these, what's the word? You have these micro life in your soil already. Nematodes being one of them, protozoas, and so on and so on. These are actually in your soil if you have a good living soil going in your garden. You see what I'm saying? So, for people that buy them they probably don't have them going in the garden already, or they want to add it to the soil to fight off some of the pests that you do have. Some predator might still lay their eggs in the soil, depending on the classification that they are. So they eat the nematodes eat the eggs and so on, whatever the case may be. But like I said, it's all about a balance of the microbial life in the soil, and nematodes being part of that.
Yeah. So that breaks us right into Monster. He wanted to talk monsters. He wanted to. We were bringing up about fungus gnats. Go ahead, Big Monster.
Well, I mean, I didn't. It wasn't nothing about. I was about to lead no whole discussion about nothing.
Oh, come on, man!
I mean, I don't. I'm not a bug biologist, so you know what I'm saying.
What's your okay? So
real
let's talk
quick.
about fungus gnats.
I can only tell you
though.
Yeah, just pass the buck to Perp.
Right.
No, don't put that shit on me. But but real quick, Ontario Hashish was saying earlier in the chat. I just thought this was funny. He was joking about the government releasing russet mites, and then Oregon Budman says that the Oregon Department of Transport releases russet mites as highway brush control.
That's true. They do. I seen them do it in California on Highway 5. Anybody knows Highway 5? They do it up and down Highway 5.
So I was like, damn, that's funny. Government is fucking me, dog. But doing that shit on purpose, B.
And they do it with helicopters too. They're released like this pink. It'd be like this pink dusty shit, babe. Remember when we saw them spraying that pink dusty shit out the helicopter over the valley? Yeah, we seen it, bro. Yeah. I got a video of the helicopter on my Instagram. If you go on my Instagram and go back to like 2013, I took a motherfucking video of this helicopter because they had motherfuckers jumping out of this bitch on ropes and shit, bro, cutting down people's garden. This motherfucking helicopter, bro, it was on some shit. Same helicopter, this all black helicopter, bro. We lived on a mountain, and you could see the whole valley. I forgot the name of the valley. It was named after an Indian, but yeah, dog, multiple occasions we witnessed it.
Harmony Farm says russet chemtrails.
But they say it's for like habitat rehab or some shit because of invasive
species. Yeah, that makes sense. But fuck, that's shitty. Shitty though, fucking up people's grows.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about us.
All right, so fungus gnats, they could be a pest. I mean, they could be not a pest, but they could be a pain in the ass. Fungus gnats.
For sure, bro. I told you guys.
Yeah, some people say they come with. Some people say that's why they stopped doing soil because they think that they're in the.
I had a fox farm. I had this bag of ocean forest. Oh my god. I was like, what is there, a fucking hive in this thing? Like all of a sudden they were just coming out everywhere. and
that shit, bro. Fox Farm Ocean Forest is liable to have mites and all kind of shit in that shit.
Yeah, and like in the problem too with the fox or the ocean forest, if you just use the straight soil and don't amend it with like perlite or anything, it just stays wet, for so long, and they're just always in there. So like for me, what works for me, it's I don't have really a problem with them too bad or anything. Is that I got cocoa, or rock wool, and I let them dry down. Like if I'm starting to see like a flare up of fungus gnats, I'll let the media dry to the point where the plants start to droop, and look like they're like wilting, and because then that moisture, when it dries up, it kills the eggs. I mean, you got to do it for a while. I do it for like, I'll probably do it for like a week, like let them dry down, and obviously it's stressing the plant some, but then I don't have to, do anything else, invest any money or anything. And then they'll usually, at least I might have a couple flying around, but, there's not like a whole colony or, they're not like flaring up, too bad. But that's how I control it, just with the, the dry down times.
Word. I was just reading this article, and that was one of the tips that they gave. But one of the important things that I picked up real quick was their life cycle, which they have a 25 to 35 day life cycle, which is huge for a bug. Like most bugs die real quick. They have a very short life cycle. So they have a real big life cycle like that. So that means that it seems like they will be really easy to eradicate. You know what I'm saying? Having such a wide range of a life cycle, you know what I'm saying? If they had a life cycle of 2 or 3 days, like some mites do and shit, it seems like they're a lot harder to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Because they're constantly breeding, constantly laying eggs and shit.
Man, see, yeah. So like, I don't know. When I swear, when I did mine, they they went away after like a week or so. I didn't have them nearly as bad.
Well, that's what he means. That's what he's meaning. He's meaning that they've got their lifespan is so long, it's easier to get to do away with them because their lifespan is so long. That's why you were saying that's why it was easier for you to get rid of them because
okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like, and I was thinking the same thing, like about the stressing of the plants out and letting your soil, like, okay, cocoa and soil, two different things. Soil,
right?
It holds microbial life. It has it in it. It holds it better than cocoa. You pretty much have to add your microbial life to cocoa. So cocoa growers usually don't like to let our cocoa dry out. But however, I learned it from Monster, man. I've learned to allow my cocoa to dry out at times because it helps with numerous issues, and that's one of them.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yep.
I'll take that little bit of stress that I just applied to my plants because God knows you're going to put some type of stress, some other type of stress on them anyways. We're not perfect growers, you're going to do something, whether it's light stress or whether it's heavy. But I'd rather take that hit in the beginning to eradicate them or to add that little bit of dryness and add a little bit of stress to them to keep them away. Other ways is root drenches. That's why I use my mites mildew. I heard Cali Green. I got to find it. I wrote it down. He had a really nice one that's organic using hot sauce for his root drench that works. For matter of fact, after the show, I'll post it on this in the chat on this, and then I'll post it on our Trichomoe Chasers website as well. But and it has a little bit of hot sauce and it doesn't hurt the plant. You can put that straight in it, and that kills them. But yeah, them damn things can be a pain in the ass, man. They can.
Real quick, things to deal with them. Obviously, the BT, the Bacillus thuringiensis, or whatever. I know people will put like a layer of like sand, or I wouldn't really recommend the sand, but like grow stones or gnat nicks, things like that, perlite, even like a good few inch layer over the top of your soil or your cocoa or whatever, if you're doing it in cocoa or soil.
Why do you say no to the sand?
Well,
moisture.
I don't know. The sand will probably work as a cheap solution, but I don't know. I just wouldn't recommend it.
I think a cheap solution is just well, you could get the lava stone, from the hardware store, but you got to rinse it because that shit is like dyed, and you'll see all kinds of sand and shit come off. But it's
you talking about the hydrogen or actual lava stone?
No, like lava stone.
Okay, is lava stone, is that phosphorus? Is it more like holy? Does it have, because I know with hydrogen, the only time I've seen gnats in my DWC is when I was using hydrogen. They lay up in the hydrogen. They lay right up in the hydrogen because the hydrogen, a lot of it comes with holes and different things. They find little holes in it, man, and they lay right up in the hydrogen. But yeah, I use gnat mix now though. I still use sand every once in a while, but I use gnat mix.
Gnat mix. What is that product, Buffalo?
It's from Growstone. It's basically glass.
Oh, so it's like a sand that you put on top?
It's a white sand, really light. It's not heavy like sand is. It's really light, and basically it's glass. That's what it is. It's glass. Okay. And you lay it over the top of you dress the top of your plant with it, and when they try to climb up through it, it'll chew them up. But they can't climb down into your soil from neither. So what I do is I might use a little sand in the bottom of my pot, and then I put the gnat mix on the top.
Oh, word.
Oh, but I found that recipe. So in a gallon of water, you want to use 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, 2 tablespoons of dish detergent, not the bacterial dish detergent. Get the blue one. Don't get the green one or the orange one. Get the blue one. 1 tablespoon of hot sauce and 2 teaspoons of white vinegar. and that's what he drenches his soil with.
Word.
Yep. Nice organic recipe right there. So yeah, so how much
Yeah,
how
that
much it
shit'll
costs?
kill it.
I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
That's it. That shit'll kill the eggs and the gnats as well
Kill
too,
everything.
man.
Dry them out,
Yeah.
dehydrate them, do all that shit. So how close in relation are root aphids and fungus gnats?
Good question.
Well, I would think the aphids don't fly, right?
I don't know, do they?
Aphids don't fly.
Let me
No,
ask
they
They're
do.
related.
They do. They do.
let me
I
ask
thought they
Siri.
were related to like ticks and spiders, and they had like 8 legs.
Nah, they do. They'll get wings. I don't think all of them do though, but they will if they reach a certain life maturity. Like they'll grow wings.
Is that the ones that look like ants?
I just seen a video the other day, bro. I was doing some research about aphids, and then I ended up going into some shit about root aphids. I wasn't even looking for root aphids. And
Oh,
then
never mind.
he took his pot out of the plant, and you could see all the other aphids like crawling around, but there was like one big one with wings, and he was like,
Maybe
"Man,
like ants.
Here you go, Doja.
Yeah.
Look at the screen, Doja. Look at the if you can look at
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep, there's one right there. That's a root aphid that flies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
not all of them grow wings
Yeah,
though."
not all of them do, see, but this is your more general.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. They were like.
I can't even look at that shit too motherfucking long, bro. I get the fucking jumping. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me, but you're kind of cracking up a little bit, Buffalo. Maybe it's me.
Nah, it's buffalo.
Oh yeah, blame it on Buffalo.
I just learned that about 2 days ago, Doja. I didn't know that either, bro. I didn't think they
Yeah.
grow wings.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
So the flies. So basically, I guess would you say? I see why you say the ticks. Are they related? Because this one here looks like a tick. Looks like
Your
a tick.
mic is cracking a nut real bad, broski.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
No.
It's some bullshit.
He
Yeah, I'm
sound
looking
like
up the-
sound like back in the day when the phones would be fucked up, when you be on the phone, them old ass phones back in the day.
Nah, I think what was going on is that my laptop was trying to do a restart, do a security scan at the same time. I think that's what caused the problem.
It's still doing it.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so how about now?
Yeah, you good. You good, bro.
I just had to unplug and replug. But yeah, I can see what he's talking about as far as tick. They do. It looks like a tick, you know? So
Yeah.
it looks like a tick, bro. It does. So yeah. So yeah, I would say definitely fungus gnats probably do look a little similar to the flying fungus gnats, but definitely don't look like, maybe their larva might resemble a little bit about the root aphids. Yeah, but I'm gonna post this.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm trying to look up the phylogeny, but it's a little bit confusing because I don't know the species name. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was just asking, well, who knows the scientific name?
you could look it up, but I don't know. Like when I'm looking at when I'm looking at the phylogeny, it shows the phylogenies of all these things with their scientific names. So you have to look up each name to understand what it's related to. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So here's some root damage. Just pictures of root damage, different things. What do they do? You start seeing the little brown spots. These are probably root aphids actually that's on your roots right there. You can see. And that's rock wool right there. So anybody ask that question about can they live? There you go. There's rock wool right there that it's in. Here you got them in DW. Here's somebody had them in DWC. That's damage in the DWC. So the shit can happen.
One time I had the gnarliest fungus gnat infestation, bro. It was like it got way out of hand, dude. It was fucking gnarly, dog. Like they were like crawling all over my flat tables. And like it was crazy, dude. It was out of hand. I'd never had them that bad before.
Damn.
Yeah, I got them pretty bad right now.
All right, you know what? Speaking of what we were talking about, I just found something on the internet about. It says, how old is this shit? I don't know how old it is, but it says root aphids. No, they're not just fungus gnats. So obviously there is some confusion as far as, and then their life cycle. Wow, that's a serious life cycle right there. And here we go. They got a summer. Here's the thing about root aphids. They got a summer cycle and a winter cycle. And their winter cycle looks to be twice as long as their summer cycle. No, actually about 3 times as long.
That's crazy. The fungus nest, though, I just got 4 little bowls with the apple cider vinegar. And I think about 4 strips of the little sticky strips hanging up. And
Yeah.
that's been working. And I had them pretty bad. And in about 3 days, they calmed the fuck down. So they're about gone now.
Check this out. It says that in the aphid's primary life cycle, they commonly called crawlers since they are wingless and crawl through media looking for roots. Once they find a root, they will latch on and multiply. Crawlers don't lay eggs. Instead, they breed and give live birth. This means even a single aphid can start an infestation. Wow.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. They're like parthenogenic or something. Essentially, they have asexual capabilities.
It says in their final reproductive phase, adult crawlers are capable of sprouting wings to help them travel between plants to mate and lay eggs. Wow. So yeah. Holy shit. That's some interesting shit once you get to looking at it. You know what I'm saying? You really get to looking at it. That's some interesting shit.
Yeah, man. When I had them really bad, I was seeing that when I noticed that. I did a little research and I was like, oh shit, they can fucking basically make identical copies of themselves. And I had witnessed that actually looking at some before, like them actually like essentially what it looked like shitting out another fucking gnat. You know, it was crazy.
So it says, yeah, it's crazy, man. And like it says, so any of you new growers, you're looking at your deficiencies, be aware, because it said it looks like a nutrient deficiency when you have root aphids. Root aphids cause stunted growth, droopy or yellow leaves resembling nutrient deficiencies. The yellowing, which is chloris, resembles a magnesium deficiency, and a yellow-brown spotting a calcium deficiency. If you have, check pH, feed and runoff, and know that your plants are being properly fed. You should probably check for root aphids. They feed by sucking nutrients directly from roots before plants can use them. Wow. So yeah, so some of the new growers, even older growers, they think that they might know everything. Be aware of what you think you might know, because you might be treating a deficiency and you don't have a deficiency. You actually got root aphids.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that, or that they can survive in rock wool.
Yeah, I didn't know neither until I saw that picture. Now, I know fungus gnats, but I didn't know root aphids.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is, anybody in the chat got any more questions? If I skipped you, if I missed you, please retype them so we can answer your questions. We got a lot of people on the panel that can answer any question you got as far as we talk about IPMs and different things like that. So if I missed your questions, I apologize, and go ahead and resubmit it. You got to get some nematoids. They go into the aphid stomach, breed, and then burst out the aphid and continue the life cycle. So it's like, so what they do is like they duct tape you, stick a cork in your ass, and feed you, just pump water down your throat until you just bust. Is that what you're saying, Frank Yeskin?
They're like Wu-Tang. They sew your asshole shut and keep feeding you and feeding you.
Small Tubes wants to know, has anybody used Green Clean? Frank Yeskin says, yep, that's exactly what they do. I'm sorry, go ahead, Monster. He said, did you use Green Clean? Anybody use Green Clean?
I thought you used it.
I didn't use Green Clean. No, I've never used Green Clean.
Nope, don't even know what green clean is. I've seen it before, but I don't know what the chemicals are that are in it.
I use Simple Green, not in the garden, but not green clean.
Billy Ives says he uses it. Let's see. Any other questions out there? What time are we at? 1:12. We've been running for about 2 hours. I think this show has been a pretty good show tonight, man. I think we've covered quite a bit of information. There's a lot of information about IPMs that we could just continue to go on and on and on about. You know, there's a lot of different things.
Yeah, we'll definitely end up coming back and, coming off with some more new information for you guys. And I'm constantly trying new products, and I'm always looking for other organic IPM products and stuff like that. So definitely we'll come back to this topic later on. But if you guys enjoyed the show, hit that thumbs up for us. We appreciate it.
That's right.
Yeah, because we got. Go ahead, Pro.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you guys want, I'll drop the link for the subscriber chat. If any of the listeners out there want to join our subscriber Google Hangouts chat, feel free. I'm gonna drop the link here in the chat. So,
man, we be some good information, man. We be having some really good conversations, and it's a place to hang out when you don't have to worry about getting banned.
It's pretty much like.
I add something on that. On the Trichomoe Chaser website, I actually try to sign in as a member or whatever, just to sign up, and the caption thing isn't working, so it won't let me sign up.
Oh, like the robot thing?
Yeah, LED. LED is working on it.
So that's the only reason I definitely couldn't sign up on there as a member too. So I wanted to also bring that up.
Keep trying, because LED, he's working on it probably right now. I know he was asking me about some stuff about the site last night. So anybody who has had problems making an account, make sure you guys try back, because it won't be like that. It might already be fixed. So
cool.
And then I know it was like it was doing some stuff where we were having to approve each person instead of it having an auto approve, and it kept switching back to that. So that might actually have been what the problem was, which is some bullshit. Nobody wants to fucking approve every single number.
Yep, I agree. So I like to say thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. So in the meantime, hit up the subscribers chat. It's kind of like how our shows go, but like every day. So good source of information there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dirty, you got anything you want to say, brother?
Oh man, shit. Thank you for the chat. Always stopping through, man. Coming through, showing love for sure, man. Even if it is slow on a regular day, y'all always stop by, show love. So the whole panel, DC Farms, appreciate you, homie. And about the bugs, man, shit, hit them hard whenever you can, and stay on them. You know me, I do the KNF. So
yeah, Monday.
The OHNs in the veg. That's about it. After that, I let them ride. And thank God I haven't had any issues with bugs. So fingers crossed, guys. Keep it that way.
All right.
Yeah. Be proactive, not reactive. But of course, if you have to be, do what you got to do.
For sure.
Avid.
Hit him with that Avid.
I live in the soil, nigga. Nah, I'm just playing.
just dunk the whole plant bucket.
I'm just playing. I don't. I'm just playing.
Oh, dude, you're wrong for that, bruh.
But that's what's up, y'all. Thanks for coming in and joining us for another Trichomoe Chaser live show. We'll hit you with another one next Friday, Monday night, DC Pharma.
Yes, indeed. And look, check this out. This Monday night, it's a light show, but I got a guest coming on because he got a march about bully dogs, you know, pit bulls or bull terriers in that case, you know, because out here we have a case where they catch the dogs and they like to euthanize them, so they holding the march. So I got that guy coming in and he's going to talk about the march and the organization. But at the same time, any of my Trichomoe Chaser families, I definitely would like to have y'all on this Monday night just to introduce yourself. You know, just if anything, you don't have to show face, but I like to introduce the Trichomoe Chaser family to some of my DC fans as well. You know, just to let people know where they can reach out for help as well with the different types of growers that we have in our community. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned Monday night. If you can make it, Trichomoe Chaser fans, I'll put the link on the chat. You guys can hang on and introduce yourself. And if not, just watch the show. It's gonna be a good show. Like I said, we got a dude coming in talking about the dogs. Everybody loves the pets and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be a good thing to support as well.
Most definitely, man. And that's a big thing they do in most cities out where I live at. 48 hours. If nobody come and claim them in 48 hours, bro, they euthanize them.
Yeah, he's using that. These dogs, man, they're beautiful, intelligent dogs, man. And that's a shame, man. It's definitely a shame.
Yep. You got a 48-hour pickup window. If you ain't come and found your dog by then, especially if it's a pit, anything that's a pit or resembles a pit, they euthanize them.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, man, you better not be on vacation, you know, when your dog gets out.
So, once again, I want to say thank you to everybody for showing in tonight. I really, really do appreciate you guys hanging out. I believe when I've looked up at one time, we had 68 watching at one time. May seem small to some, but that's great to us, man. We'll take whatever we can get.
So it means a lot, man. Shit, y'all spending your time.
Exactly. So thanks for you guys for stopping in with us tonight. Next week's show, we're going to talk about that here shortly. Once we get off of here, we're going to toss up a couple ideas. So once we decide what we're going to show by Tuesday, I will be advertising next week's show. So check out Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Oh, not to mention, don't forget about what's the other one? WeedTube. Don't forget about WeedTube. I want to shout out to WeedTube for giving us another platform to speak and be able to, you know, socialize in this community.
Yeah. Stay tuned for them treetop genetic beans, man.
Yep.
Everybody got them going. So it's going down. The takeover for sure.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, so exactly. So I want to say thank you, man. I want to say thanks to everybody. Frank, Jessica, thanks for stopping at Oregon Bud, man. Joshua Steesland, you know, thank you guys for everybody. 420 Mad Bloke. Hope you can get that situation you're going through under control, brother. You know, if you're running into problems, I'm pretty sure if you still hit up, you know, some of us, however you can hit us up and ask us questions, we'll all give you any information that we feel. DC Farmer, make sure you guys, like Monster said, check out his show on Monday nights. Let's give that man support like he get this community support. That's a good brother right there. So,
hell yeah, thank you, bro.
So we're going to sign out. We're going to say thank you. And I'm going to sing my song. I got in trouble for singing my song last week. Somebody hit me up on the text note, giving me all kind of shit but I'm going to sing my damn song anyway. Good night, sweetheart. Yeah, it's time to go. All right. This is Trichomoe Chasers. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace out.
Y'all.